I'm Diego Forlán, and this is my collection. Oh, this is beautiful. You always like to see this, you know. I think these are the best model you have in adidas, one of the best ones, yeah. When I was a kid, not every time, but I used to have one of them once in a while, and they were beautiful. You know, with the leather, they were very, very soft. You know, just the first time you put it in, it was comfortable, and then while you keep it using it, it was, you know, it was like a tennis shoe, you know, very, very beautiful. I started, yeah, with this. Yeah, I have this one was for more winter and, you know, always in the rainy days, and then you have the other one, the rubber ones, to watch the adidas and this kind of thing. You remember, because sometimes you have the fake ones, and you know, when you see this, you know, you see that they are the real ones. I think it was like this, you know. I think at the beginning, you know, when you first start, and because it's difficult to keep it that way, you try to put it, every time you finish using it, you try to put it under the, you know, these laces, and you leave it like this the whole time. Then when you put it again, you go, and it's gonna be this easy. So it's always nice, you know, to watch it like this. You could see. Then you remember then the different type of shoes, the other one with the red one, and you know, there were many different ones. But at the beginning, everybody was using it like this. There may be a few that they didn't like it maybe, and sometimes they cut it or they put it behind. But most of the players, they used to use it like this. It was beautiful. I used it when I was in youth academies, and in the under 20s in the national team as well. And then, yeah, when I arrived at Manchester United, yeah, I was using these ones as well.
Is it true you almost signed for Middlesbrough?
It was true, yeah. I was so close. But at first, Man United was the one who came first at the beginning, so then there was a misunderstanding. Then, of course, Middlesbrough came as well, but at the end, you know, we decided to go for Manchester United. I really adapted really well. I know it was not the same as living in my country with the weather, of course, but at the end, you know, having the advantage to speak the language for me was very good, because if not, it would have been really difficult for me to adapt in this kind of, in the team and also in the living in England.
And then obviously when you arrived at United, were there any players that really impressed you from that team?
No, most of them, yeah. When I arrived there, yeah, like I said, you know, there was one of the best teams in the world with the best players, David Beckham, Veron, Roy King, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, I don't know, Van Nistelrooy, many players, you know, with a great talent, playing in such a great club like Manchester United.
And then obviously playing under Sir Alex Ferguson, so what was he like compared to other managers that you played with?
Oh, he was good, very strong character. He was really close to the player. Of course, when things were not going, you know, as well as everybody wanted to go, you could see that his reaction was, you know, he has a really strong character. But it's okay, because, you know, you need to have this kind of managers, you know, in such a great club like Manchester United. But he was a great guy, you know. He was all over the club. He knew everybody. He was in every little detail, you know. He's always a great manager, and really a nice person to talk to him. And, you know, if you needed something, he was always, you know, with the door open for you to ask him whatever you need.
And then obviously there's the famous incident where he kicked the boot across the changing room. Was it your boot?
No, it was not. It was Ollie's boot. Yeah, well, that was, it was, Incidents always happen in dressing rooms. In this kind of, the difference was that someone got hurt, like was David Beckham. But at the end, these kind of things in every club. If you talk with the players, with managers, they could tell you that everybody had this kind of arguing, with each other. It's normal. It's like you live with each other for so many years, so many days, trainings, hours, sometimes these kind of things happen. But at the end, you can argue with the guy, you can argue with the manager, but at the end, with being respectful, you can understand and everybody can apologize at the end and it's gonna be okay.
Especially in England, the two most famous goals I think you scored were the two at Anfield. How did that rank in terms of your goals and how did that feel for you?
How did it feel? It felt great, always when you play in these kind of games, and with two great clubs, and playing at Anfield was unbelievable for myself, scoring those goals, winning the game, looking from so many years, you can see how important it was for the fans. They still sing that song, sometimes when I'm watching on TV, I'm in Uruguay and I see, we're playing Liverpool or we are 1 week behind that game. The Man United fans, they start singing the song, so sometimes, you get surprised they still sing it.
Can you remind us of the song? You remember it?
It is that Diego. He comes from Uruguay, he made the Scousers cry.
So I think you wore it all in black?
All in black, yeah. Yeah, I wore it black, yeah.
And that was...
Like I said, now you have this, they improved that. So it's easy to keep it, and well, the red one, a very good one, very comfortable as well. Afterwards, I moved to Villarreal, and yeah, I kept scoring a lot of goals with them. And then I started playing at the end of the season. I think I started playing with F50. I changed this one for lighter ones, but still, it was great shoes to use.
Okay, we're going to this one, which you did wear in a silver, I believe.
Yeah. They have 50 ones, yeah. They started doing it, yeah. Beautiful ones. I remember at in Villarreal at the end of it was 2004, 2005 that I started using them, and I won the Pichichi and the Golden Boot with them.
Had a good game against Barcelona by the looks of it?
Yeah, I have a good one, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a very good game. I scored a hat-trick, and we needed that win. We needed to have a point at least. They were already champions, so it was a different game. They didn't want to lose as well. 3-3 at the end, and it was really a great moment for me. I was behind in that moment. Total was 24 goals, I was 20 goals. I scored those 3 goals, so I finished the game with 23. He missed a penalty. In the last game, he didn't score, and I scored 2 goals against Levante, so I won the Pichichi and the Golden Boot. This one were nice. The only thing with this one was the stats. Sometimes, you missed some of them, so you need to repair and to put it again. But, the color was the one that I said, white. It's always nice to use them. You remember I said the green one, I said the blue one. I forgot this one, the red one, the black one and red. This one I use it a lot, the blue one. Yeah, this one was I think was the second year, in the 2005, 2006 for Atletico, yeah. And also one of these one was yellow as well with Villarreal. I used them with Villarreal. Yeah, it was good one. The yellow one was good. Yeah, because Of course, using yellow is difficult. You know, not every team has these kind of colors, but you know, having the yellow one with Villarreal was perfect. You know, the whole outfit was yellow.
Did you find you were like a confidence player?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, every time you have the chance, you know, you get the rhythm. Sometimes it's difficult because you lose that spell and you're not scoring goals, and you try to you know, to train hard to do it, you know, as better as you can, and then at the end, you know, once you score the goal, you start that rhythm, and you know, it's like flowing. You know, it's great.
The old Atletico Stadium, was that the best atmosphere you played in, do you think?
No, I played in many places. Yeah, of course, it was one of the best. Yeah, I played so many different countries with great atmosphere. You know, in Manchester United, in Argentina with Independiente, when I play in Peñarol. Of course, Atletico Madrid. I know it's difficult to say only one. You know, everybody has their own way of being, you know, supporting the team, but still, you know, you can feel the atmosphere. You can feel the fans, everybody. Yeah, it's beautiful. When you have the chance to play in such a great clubs, you can feel in different ways, depends on the culture and the way they see football. Still, you know, in support of your fans. You close it. Beautiful. Very light, really light. Leather ones, I really prefer this one. You have, you know, the two types, synthetic and leather ones. They change it, and I always ask for the leather ones. I feel more comfortable with them. Playing the World Cup, you know, you always dream of playing football and playing with the national team, of course, and then having the opportunity to qualify for the World Cup and playing, you know, you can dream about so many things, but then, you know, going to reality is different. And, you know, also being the goal scorer of the World Cup, you know, and then the ball winner, the golden ball winner, it was unbelievable, you know. We played in the semi-final. We were so close to play that final that, you know, you always remember, and, you know, you have that regret, you know, for not arriving to the final. But still, it was a great World Cup for everybody, you know, and for myself at the end, you know, I scored the best goal of the tournament against Germany. I was top scorer. Of course, I didn't get the golden boot because of the minutes I played, but still, I scored 5 goals. And then also they gave me the golden ball winner, which was unexpected. You know, it was amazing. As a striker, you always, if you fight for an individual trophy, it's always because if you're gonna win the goal scorer. You never think, myself, I never thought about, you know, winning the golden ball, which is more, you know, in a complete aspect of the player. So for me, it was unbelievable. I think it was everything. Yeah, the ball, the boots, my confidence, the team. You know, I really, yeah, you know, during my careers, I have my ups and downs, you know, and my highs and my lows, we can say better. When I was not scoring goals, it was difficult times, you know, but when I have that strike of scoring goals and goals, I could feel the momentum, that I could hit the ball wherever I want, and I know that it was going to be close to goal or for the keeper to save it, you know. So in the World Cup, that was the way I felt, you know. 2 times I won the Pichichi and the Golden Boot winner in Europe. Was the same, you know. I didn't have a really good moment scoring goals, but at the end I scored. I remember the 2008, 2009, I scored, I think in 8 games, 13 goals. You know, it was almost 1 month and a half before finishing the league. And this was the same, you know. It's like everybody, you know, when you wake up and you say, okay, you have a good energy, you know that I'm not saying that I'm going to win every game, but still, you know, I know that everything that I will try to do, You know, I would try to do my best, and in a percentage from 0 to 100, maybe it's going to be 80, 75, 80, 85, or maybe 90%. That's going to be a good thing, you know, and this was the way I felt during the World Cup. Everybody is saying now, you know, it's how do you say, urban legend? They say that, you know, they gave me the ball before the tournament. So that's why I practice a lot, and I felt more comfortable than everybody, which is not true. FIFA always give the ball to every national team at the same moment, so it was not true. But I felt really comfortable. I know it was a difficult ball for everybody, for the keepers, and also for us to hit the ball. You know, I tried to be friend with the ball, you know, and you know, I have a good partnership with it, and it was great. You know, I scored, like you said, you know, 4 of the 5 goals I scored from outside the box. I like shooting from outside, yeah. I always like shooting. You know, nowadays, you know, I don't see as much as before, you know. I'm not saying, you know, as a free kick, I'm saying, you know, when the ball is rolling and you're doing the plays, and you don't see that much now, you know. Before, in my time and before that, you could see many players hitting from outside the box, scoring great goals. And now it's like everybody's passing, everybody is trying to get inside the box and inside the goal with the ball. And sometimes they had the opportunity to hit it outside the box, and you know, it's like myself, I'm watching the game and said, come on, hit it. Yes, this was the moment I went back to the Predator again. I wore them in the 2011 Copa America. We won it. These ones, I used them in Inter Milan. Beautiful ones, I really like them. Light ones. You know, being Predator as well, it was a really light version of them, you know, because always Predator with F50 was, you know, the F50 were lighter than the Predator, but this one were really nice. And also, with this one, you know, the ball sticks a little bit more. You feel more, you know, the sense of the ball a little bit. And then this one was in 2011 and 2012. You know, something that not many people know, winning the Copa America, in my family, my father played also, and my grandfather as well, the father of my mother. So the father of my mother won it 2 times, the Copa America. One of those one was with my father as a player. Also, my father won it as well, and myself. So we are the only family in the world that have 4 international cups, in this case 4 Copa Americas in the world. So there's no family in the world that have 4 international trophies in the same family. I didn't feel any pressure. No, of course not. I can tell you, no. Winning something with it doesn't matter if it's a national team or a team, it's always difficult. You know, I was lucky to win, you know, many titles, but it's not that easy, you know. So for me, it was not. I didn't feel the pressure that because my grandfather won it twice, my father once, I needed to win it, you know. No, I said okay. When I had that opportunity and I was close to it, you know, I wanted to achieve that goal, because it would have been, you know, like it is now, that no family in the world has that distinctions, you know. So for me it was great, but I didn't feel that pressure, of course. If I would have lost the final, you know, it was not because, you know, the pressure of winning it for the family. No, it was not that. And then the last, I went back to the F50. These ones, they were nice. If I could go back again, yeah, of course, yeah. But, yeah, and I would do it the same way I've done it, with, you know, the mistakes and also the things that I've done well, you know. Yeah, I had a great career, you know, more than I ever imagined. And the opportunity to play in such great clubs, you know, with great history, you know, having the opportunity to live, you know, for a couple of years in different parts of the world, you know, I really enjoy it. I can say I'm a privileged man.
If you could only wear one now, which boot do you think you would wear?
I would have to go with the F50, the black ones, the black and yellow, of course. You know, it's difficult, you know. If I choose another one, everybody would say, what's happening with you? No, I would, yeah, of course, 100% I would choose the F50 black and yellow.